Hello, sisters, and welcome back to another episode here on the Intentional Mom Life with Jesus podcast. I'm your host, Sasha Robertson, and today I am here to share some really exciting news with you, but you're going to have to act quick. And we are going to talk a little bit about identity, purpose, calling, and more in motherhood.
Welcome to the Intentional Mom Life with Jesus podcast. Do you desire balance and want to glorify God with your life? Are you often up late at night, conflicted between whether you accomplished enough or you were present enough with your kids? Do you wake up with big, ambitious goals only to feel overwhelmed by all the things on your to-do list? Hi, I'm Sasha Robertson. I know the weight of that stay-at-home mom life. It can feel like a burden to stay on top of things when you don't know how to manage your time and struggle to read your Bible. You want structure, a routine that flows, and a little time to pursue things for yourself without mom guilt. But you keep telling yourself, there's no time, and I can't find a good schedule. Well, sister, you've found the solution. On this podcast, you will find encouragement to help you live rooted and grounded in Christ, time management tips for busy moms, and mindset shifts to help you feel organized, productive, and peaceful, focusing on what matters most. So grab your cold brew or kombucha and strap those kiddos into the car seat, and let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, here I am. I'm here. Hi. I don't know if you can hear in my voice, but I have been sick over these last 2 weeks, and it's just been excruciating to say the least. Not necessarily all physically, but this sickness has ran throughout almost the entirety of the recordings with all of the speakers for our third annual I Am Mom Life-Giving Momference. So I sound kind of like a frog through some of it and whatever else. I think it started out, I thought it was like a strep throat or maybe a tonsillitis because I didn't have any other symptoms. And then it turned into a laryngitis where for a couple of days I essentially couldn't talk. Then it morphed into a full-blown sinus infection / cold, whatever you call it, where I sounded kind of like I sound now, but maybe worse. And so for the sake of all of that, I have refrained from podcasting. But that being said, friends, I am here to tell you about the third annual Life-Giving Momference. Some of you maybe have been in my world or came into my world through this Momference in the last year or two, but we started in 2022 and had, I think, about 12 speakers, and it was all live in Facebook group. The next year, 2023, we doubled down. We had 24 speakers, I think. And again, it was all live in a pop-up Facebook group. But this year, God very much said we are still doing this. And I had over 50 applicants apply this year. And my head was spinning. And I just stared at them for so long and prayed over them and prayed for God to give me direction because I'm like, I don't know, what do I do with all these speakers? And we narrowed it down to, I think, 27 speakers. And I'm also going to be sharing a talk all 3 days, but we did them all pre-recorded this year. We've set it up on an off Facebook platform, although we are hanging out over in the Mom Life Balance community because a huge part of our life and our purpose and what we're made for is relationships. So we certainly don't want to slack on that aspect of it. So a lot of updates are already dropping in the Facebook group. There's going to be door prize giveaways going on over there from a lot of our speakers, and I'm giving some stuff away. There's a grand prize drawing, which we are going to talk a little bit about soon in the Facebook group. And there's also a chance to upgrade to VIP. So this event is happening next week if you're listening in real time. So it's always the week after Mother's Day in America. So happy Mother's Day to all of you moms that are listeners on here. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 12th this year. So starting Monday, May 13th, I will be live in the Facebook group at 10 a.m. Eastern time, sharing a little bit of housekeeping stuff and details about the momference, what to expect, how to go about it. And then I'm also going to be sharing a talk that coincides with day one's theme. And so the theme of day one is all about encouragement in your motherhood walk from a firmly rooted identity in Jesus. So we are talking a lot about who you are in the Lord, right? And also how he sees mothers and your role as a mother and how you can live that out effectively. Day 2, Tuesday, May 14th, we are talking all about understanding your purposes, calling, and gifts in motherhood and beyond. So this is where a lot of the speakers are going to be encouraging you in, again, just understanding that role in motherhood and how your gifts and purposes in that relate, and just how important they are. But not only that, there are some speakers who are talking about your calling in addition to that, right? Of what it looks like to have purpose outside of the home or outside your family specifically, and how to navigate that, how to seek the Lord in answering those questions and getting clarity in what that looks like. And then day 3, Wednesday, the 15th of May, is about practical how-tos and taking intentional action on all of the above, right? Everything that we talked about in the previous days, so that you can live your most productive, purposeful, and peaceful life yet. So this is where we have some practical and tactical stuff about decluttering your home, about how to implement some cleaning routines, how to get more clarity in your calling if now is the season to be stepping out in business or something like that. Just all really, really good stuff from all of these speakers. I'm so excited about the way that God has just woven in threads throughout this conference. We talk a lot about, obviously, motherhood and purpose and calling. We talk a lot about seasons. We talk a lot about prayer. Actually, the whole momference starts out with Sally Burke, who has been a guest here on the podcast. Sally Burke is the president of Moms in Prayer International. She is the first speaker after my live, and she talks all about prayer. So let me share with you just a couple of the topic titles of what moms are talking about in this momference. So as I mentioned, Sally Burke, she is talking how to pray God's word and witness him impact your life and others. We have Riley Powell. She has been a speaker all 3 years at the momference. She's been a guest here on the podcast, and she is talking about momming from a place of rest. She talks a lot about overflow and just how we first seek the Lord, and then that allows us to do essentially exceedingly abundantly more, right? From a place of overflow, from the place of first resting in him. We have Sally Cooper from the Balanced Momcast. She has also been a guest here on the podcast, and she's talking about overcoming busyness as a barrier to balance. And she dives into these multiple busyness personality types and gives us all the viewers like a quiz that you can go take. Super powerful stuff. I just love the conversation that I've had with her. Goodness, there's so much more. I don't want to go through this whole list. You can definitely go to iam-mom.life and check out all the details, sign up. There's even an opportunity to snag VIP, right? Because there are going to be, I think 30 talks in total, and every single one of them is gold, sisters. If you can make a point to catch every single one of these, the enemy, no wonder we've been having all this warfare, because he is and should be shaking in his boots, because it is literally life-giving. And we're inspiring you to take action, sisters, not just come and hear, but also do. This conference has been so heavily prayed over. If you are going to attend, you have already been heavily prayed over. Um, we have just so much goodness for you. Teresa Taylor, again, she's been a guest here on the podcast. She was a speaker last year, but she's talking about pulled or called. Do you feel like you have been pulled from your past life, from your past experiences and circumstances now that you're in a season of motherhood? Or do you feel called into something more in addition to motherhood? She talks a lot about that and navigating the difference. Eris Charles talks about cultivating confidence in your calling beyond motherhood. Dr. Danielle McGew. I realized that came out kind of like sounding like a Daniel. No, definitely a mom here. A holistic approach to faith-fueled ambitions. Camilla Wade is talking about your threefold gift. Super powerful stuff. Caitlin Silva on day 3 is talking about putting off your calling due to life's demands. Lauren Black is coming and sharing about your decision compass, how to make intentional decisions by determining the lens from which you'll navigate your choices and actions. We're talking about rhythms in your home. We're talking about God honoring goal setting. We're talking about crushing goals in a stressless, no hustle way. We're talking about time management and from a to-do list to a to-done list. Like so much goodness. Okay. I already mentioned door prize giveaways. I mentioned a grand prize giveaway. We're giving away some VIPs. Don't let that be a reason not to do VIP, okay? Right now, if you're listening to this in real time through day 1 of the momference, you're going to have an opportunity to snag VIP for $47. Okay, VIP, it doesn't just give you lifetime access to all of these speakers and over $1,200 worth of courses and workbooks and planners and additional resources from a good chunk of our speakers, but you also get access to all of 2022 and all of 2023's I Am Mom. So we're talking 65 plus binge worthy videos and talks from a plethora of moms just like you, moms who have notes and tools and tips and strategies and encouragement and testimonies to share to encourage you in your walk in motherhood right now, where you're at, what you're doing, but encourage you through those hard seasons, okay? I firmly believe that we are made in the image of God, and we have that He knit us together in our mother's womb, that He made us for a unique purpose. He had created us with plans for our life in mind before we even took our first breath. And I see so many moms who step into the role or take on the role of motherhood, right? You become a mom, and then we get into this place where we just lose ourselves, where our kids are our only focus. We lose our relationship with our husband. You know, our spouse gets really weak or shaky. Our relationship with God can get weak or shaky. But in addition to that, we lose everything that matters to us, all these dreams that God gave us, all of these unique experiences and gifts and talents and skills that He wove into us, all of these experiences that we lived through, right? I believe that they all culminate into a way that He has designed us uniquely to fulfill the Great Commission. And so if you go all the way back to the beginning of this podcast, I talk about your purposes as a mother, and I talk about the Great Commission. I talk about what I call the Motherhood Commission from Deuteronomy 6, right? We have roles to fulfill in each of those areas. But so many of us get to the Motherhood Commission, and yes, we are doing the Great Commission and the Motherhood Commission, but it also says, go, therefore, and make disciples. And so a huge part of the heart in this is for you to recognize your unique gifting and skills and so much more that God has created in you to be able to impact not only your children's lives, but your community and the kingdom, so that we are fulfilling the Great Commission on a grander scale. Our very last talk is from Kristen Duranci, And she's talking about how moms can wreak havoc on the powers of darkness by stepping into their giftings and operating in their callings. And that can look small and that can look large. That can look like a lot of different things. But one of the things that we're hoping to do through this is to help you seek the Lord, to help you take those steps from a place of peace, from a place of His guiding. Like Psalm 119, 105 talks about, He is a lamp to our feet and a light to our path. Like He sees the whole journey, right? But our job is to only be obedient with that next step and to step out in faith and trust Him. And sometimes it's very, very small actions where we're just being obedient and we're just planting seeds and we're just establishing in our lives what needs to be done for us to take then that next step, right? We're not saying every mom is supposed to step into entrepreneurship and like create a podcast and go out and do all of these big, amazing things, right? We're preparing this so that you can go seek the Lord in what He has for you, but understanding that He has you and He has for you, and just really getting clarity with Him and what that looks like. And so, sisters, this is going to be so, so good. Even if you don't do VIP, I hope that you will jump in, that you will make a priority Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this next week to really lean into any of the talks that God presses on your heart. You're going to register, you're going to get a landing page, you're going to go to that page, you're going to see the whole day's speakers' name, their professional title, their talk title, their bio, all of their social links, their free resource that you can snag, and their video right there. And so even if you've only got a couple of hours and you're not doing VIP, any one of these talks that you go listen to, any couple of these talks that you go listen to each day are going to be so good for encouraging and inspiring you in where you're at now, for getting clarity in what God has for you in this season and maybe what He's calling you to, and how to practically walk that out from a place of peace and balance amongst busy mom life. Okay, this is designed specifically with you in mind, and it's totally free for you to join. So, all that to say, I hope that we will see you there at I Am Mom 2024. I hope that you will share with your mom friends, and I am continuing to pray over you and over this event that the Lord would just speak to your heart, that He would guide and direct each of you individually in what He has for you. God bless, sisters. See you there. I just have to take a moment to shout out the sponsors of I Am Mom. You're going to be hearing more about them throughout the event. You're going to be hearing more of them here on the podcast. But I just have to give a shout out to Caitlin Silva with We Write Books, to Stacy Guerrero, Operations Business Manager, and Justine Wenzel, the Courage Queen. Each of their links are in the show notes.